everybody, and welcome back to a series of lectures on phonetics. This particular series I am intending to do something like giving you a lot of practice on actual use of everyday words and how you can actually phonetically correctly speak those words. So you can consider this as a practice session for you all. So let's start and let's try looking into some usually used words or words which we find every day in our lives. Let's start. So if we start from the word phonetics, what actually is phonetics? Phonetics, the study of human speech sounds. So it has to be something that particular word that you hear should have a meaning of its own. So it cannot be any sound that falls to your ears. It has to be human speech sound, and it is something called a scientific. It's a scientific way of looking into human speech sounds. So if you talk about it like that, phonetics should have a particular system. So what I'm trying to do here is to try to introduce that particular system of how you can speak phonetically correct English, and after all, it's a spoken language. It has to be perfect, and if it has to be perfect, if it has to be scientific, it has to have a way of being told. So let's talk about it. So human speech sounds, if you can see, it is a system, as I have already told you, and hence there should be something like it's a scientific thing, and it is something, it has an order. And now in this particular series of lectures, I'm going to try and introduce that order to you. So beginning with today's lectures, what I'm trying to do is that try to show you the scientific order that we have in the English language in particular. I'm not talking about all human languages. We will be concentrating on English, British English, and how the words need to be spoken out and how the words actually will fall like intelligible words to the ear of a native speaker. So when we talk about phonetics, we have another concept coming in. It's phonetics and phonology. So what I'm trying to do today is that teach you the phonology of the English language. That is, we are talking about a particular language, but when we tell phonetics, we use the word phonetics, it means all languages. But when we talk about phonology, we are particularly dealing with one particular language, and now what we are trying to deal with in real life situations is the phonology of the English language. So let us now come, when we talk about any words, we always come to one particular thing first, that is a syllable. Now what actually is a syllable? Now every time we take a breath, we form a syllable. That is to make it as easy as possible with no, we are not trying to give you all the words or vocabulary of the linguist. I'm just telling you in a very, very simple language that what is a syllable. Every time we take a breath, we form a syllable. I always give the word examination. Examination. So how many syllables do you have? Examination. So in English, it's very, very particular that one or two syllables will be told very strongly. The first one syllable will be told very strongly, and it is said to have the primary accent or the primary stress. And another one will have the secondary and then tertiary might be. For us, it's important to know and really understand and put it into a system which particular syllable will be told more strongly. But for us, there are so many complexities involved. First of all, it's not our native language. It is not a language we are born with. We do not hear so much of it around us. So we really need to try and put it into our system. So let us start with a very simple word like the word Democrat. Democrat here. Now word Democrat, demo and crat. There are three syllables, and the syllable de is told more strongly. Now you might be asking, why did I choose that particular word? Because I'm trying to show you that what happens is that when we keep on adding the back part to a word, or when we keep on adding newer, smaller fragments to a word, which may or may not make meaning, the stress might shift from one syllable to the other. Not always, but in a few words there. Like say for instance here, the word Democrat, the moment it becomes, we have a crasy at the back, so the shift in the syllable, the stressed syllable is from de to more. So it's democracy. The one that was Democrat with the de, the accent on de, now the accent has moved to more and it's democracy. Now let us talk about the third variant there, and it's TIC ending has, we have added a TIC ending there. It's democratic. So the shift in the syllable is from the first to the second to the third in the third word if we count from the left hand side. But normally when you count the syllables, it is from the right hand side, but I'm telling it, or I'm using it from the left hand side. I'm trying to count it so that it makes proper sense here. So what I'm trying to say is that whenever we talk about a word, it might have, the moment it becomes longer by adding fragments to the back of it, it might change or shift in the syllable focus, or the stressed syllable might keep on changing. It's not always every time, but there are a few words like that. So whenever we try to acquire the English language or try to know how it's pronounced, we need to keep these things in mind. Or say, so what is it actually a syllable? So as I told you, every time we take a breath, we form a syllable, and one syllable has to be told very strongly. This is when I'm talking about more than one syllables are there in a word, but otherwise in some syllables, just one syllable that is told more strongly. That particular syllable forms a word like the word man. Ma-e-na, man. It has one syllable. Now how do we find out how many syllables there are? As many vowels there are, that many syllables. As many breaths we take, that many syllables we form. So it's known as also stress. The one I'm talking about being one particular syllable being told more strongly, it is also known as that particular syllable has got the stress in that particular word. So, and by the way, I would also like to introduce the concept of accent. Syllable is also known as accent, but more so when we are talking about accent, it is like, we are talking about geographical area. We are referring to the people in that particular area which they have an accent. But stress is like something which is more, we can talk about it's neutral. The term stress is a neutral word. So I would also like to add that whenever we talk about a syllable, the accented or the stressed syllable in a particular word is always fixed in English. Whether you talk about that word in isolation or you put that particular word in a sentence, it will always retain the same stressed syllable. Okay, now let's try and use those, or in fact, or whatever we've learned till now, let us try and get into our system with some examples. Say, for instance, the particular word M-A-N, man. Just one vowel, a there, ma-e-na, man. Or if you talk about it not phonetically, just like that also, if you look at it, M-A-N, M is consonant, A is a vowel and N is a consonant. Automatically we have one vowel and hence one syllable. Now let us talk about the next word, say tattoo. Okay, the word tattoo, right? We have ta and two. Even though you have two double O's there, whenever we talk about using it phonetically, when writing down phonetically or transcribing it using phonetic script, the double O becomes single, right? So that tattoo, we have two vowels, and it is always fixed that the second two will be told more strongly. So any word in English ending in double O, the last one, the last syllable will be told more strongly. Tattoo, taboo, things like that. Or we can talk about the word popularize. So we have four syllables in that word and it is fixed that po will be told more strongly. It's popularize. And again we go to the next word, the same word with a tion ending at the back. And whenever we have a tion ending at the back, we count from the right hand side. The second syllable from the right will be told more strongly. And hence it is popularization. Popularization. So now we are now talking about the shifting stress. So we will try and get some more words which will really visualize before you how a particular stress can shift from one syllable to the next as we keep on adding the suffix at the back. Okay, now let us work with one word, civilize. So for those people who know the phonetic script, I've given the transcription there. It's civilized. So same thing, the moment I use a tion ending at the back, it becomes civilization. The z is told more strongly. It is the stressed or accented syllable. How many syllables are there? If you count from the right hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and this second syllable from the right is told more strongly. Now let's talk about here we have what I'm trying to show is the shifting of the stress mark, how the stress shifts. But this, once it is there, it is fixed. Now the same word here, it's a photo. We have two diphthongs there, pho and to. Normally we tell photo, but that's wrong. We need to tell it's a photo. And the moment we have something added at the back, we have this graph coming in at the back. So this is known as a suffix that is added at the back, and we need to tell it's a photograph. So here too, even though something is added at the back, we are not shifting the stress. The particular word photograph gets the stress in pho, just like in the word photo. Now let us talk about the next word there. We are adding graphy at the back, that is the suffix graphy. If we add the suffix graphy, the shift in the accent shifts from pho to to. It's photography. The to syllable is told more strongly, so we have a shift in the syllabus, a syllable with the accent. And the same thing again if we go on and we add grapher, but here the stress is again in to, just like in photo. Now the whole thing is that for people who really want to know how to pronounce well or which particular word or syllable to be accented, they need to know, or in fact put it into their system, the entire thing. This is fixed. You cannot say otherwise. If you say use some other words or other syllables, you stress some other syllable, then a native speaker will not understand you at all. So let me again repeat. It's civilize, civilization, photo, photograph, photography, and it's photographer. Okay, now let us remember a few points here. So we just need to remember the stress patterns. We need to learn each of them for every individual word to be understood perfectly. So by the way, we also need to realize that whenever we add new suffixes, the suffix normally they do not get a stress, except for some exceptions sometimes might be. So it's play will become playful. Play with one vowel there. If the stress is on the first one single syllable, but when we add the ful suffix, still it is playful. Or in case of compound words, like we have the word blackboard, airport. When we have two words, it's a compound word, means we have two nouns coming together here. Okay, so if that is the case, we need to realize that always the first word in the compound will get the stress. So it's blackboard, airport. So things like that. These things need to be remembered if we have to talk about a particular word and which word is accented. So till now what I've done is that I've tried to make it very, very simple for you so that you can use it in your life there. Some rules that you should remember whenever you're using the English language. Now, what I will try to do is that give you many words, as many as possible, words which we normally use, and I'm going to just tell you exactly how you need to pronounce word. Like that, this particular series is an attempt to make you practice the English language. I'm beginning word by word. In this particular series, what I'm trying to do is that introduce normally commonly used words and give you the exact pronunciation, which particular syllable you really need to tell strongly to sound perfect phonetically. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to wait and tell a word again, wait and tell a word there, so you can repeat along with me and get the words by and by. So what I'm doing here is that randomly I've selected a few words and I am putting this mark there, which is a stress mark, and I've divided them into syllables, all of them. So what you need to do is that along with me, you repeat the words, and wherever the stress mark is there, you need to tell that more strongly, that particular syllable. So what happens is that all of them I have chosen with the first syllable, counting from the left, the first syllable is accented or it has a stress. So let us begin with the first word. It's accident. Accident. So when I give you a gap, means you're repeating after me. Now, if you look at it, I have here ACCI, right? So whenever you have a syllable where there are two in a particular word, not syllable, in a particular word, if there are two doubles, I mean there's a double there, like CC, LL, things like that, we always put one syllable. In one syllable we put one, and the other syllable we put the other of the double. So here accident, I put AC in one and CI on the other, right? So here this is accident. Okay, so century, difficult, memory, practical, capital, beautiful, bicycle. So it's this word B-E-A-U has a Y sound there. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So the Y sound should be there, just like the Y sound in Indian. Indian. Now let's look at the second set of words there, and all of them again have the accent on the first syllable. So the first one here, you repeat after me: delicate, educate. Now if you look at it, I just wanted to tell you, if you are trying to make a syllable division, remember, if you have the vowel, try to end a particular syllable in a vowel. See here, delicate. I didn't tell delicate. I said delicate, right? So D and So E is a vowel and E ends the syllable, which is perfect. Sometimes you may not be able to, but if you look at all of them here, me, mo, this I, o, e, o. So all of them are ending in a vowel. Such type of endings are known as open syllables. Try to make an open syllable whenever possible, but sometimes there might be exceptions. So again I begin here. It's delicate, educate, excellent, minister, holiday, medical, moderate, probable. So you look at this word holiday, because it has the glottal sound h beginning it, we take our breath and then we stop our breath for some time and leave it. Holiday. So it's a holiday. Okay, now let us now deal on some more words there which are normally used in our language, in our lives in fact. So like aeroplane, agency, anything, character, citizens, citizen, 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 civilize, numerous, industry. So this is the way you go about pronouncing these words. Let us end with a few more, and these are, as I said, were randomly chosen. Okay, now let us end with a few more words which we normally use, like the word probable, 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 probably. All right, punishment, sound, punishment. And because it is per, whenever we have words beginning, which have the syllable accented, syllable has a per, ter, ka, we pronounce as per, ter, ka, and not po, to, ko. And this has a per there, it's probable, punishment. Now here it's recognize, recognize. We tell recognize, right, normally, but the actual word, the way we need to pronounce is recognize, or terrible. See here, T-E-R-R, so the two R's, one here and the other in the other syllable. Yesterday, with a y sound, yesterday. Family, quality, hesitate. So this is the way we go about whenever we talk about words. These words, commonly chosen words, which I have just randomly chosen, and we use them so often, so I thought I'll introduce them to you. But I kept one thing in my focus, is that I chose words with the accent on the first syllable. In my second lecture, I'm going to focus on words with the accent on the second syllable. So keep waiting for that, and I'll be soon back with the next lesson on how to pronounce perfectly. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you had some fun speaking phonetically correct words with me. Thank you.